Make of thyselves that which ye desire, be it a lord, be it a god. But should ye fail to become aught at all, ye will be forsaken.
With Elden Ring's release taking the game's industry by storm and definitely meeting all of the expectations that most of us had, and after spending hundreds of hours throughout multiple playthroughs, it's time to go back to Skyrim modding, as it seems to be a running theme every time a new game has been released. With that, I thought that it would be an interesting prospect to try and replicate Elden Ring's combat into Skyrim, utilizing power of modding. Today's video and the channel are once again sponsored by Opera GX, an internet browser created for gamers and users alike. As presented in our previous showcase, you guys are probably aware about the key features that this amazing browser offers, from CPU and RAM limiters, integrated VPN, to a plethora of customization options for a more personalized browsing experience, so I'm going to use this opportunity to show you a couple of other amazing features that GX offers. One of them being an integrated messenger sidebar, enabling users to browse and chat at the same time via Facebook Messenger, Telegram, WhatsApp and few others, allowing you to keep up with all of your social media. As customization is my favorite part of this browser, GX also offers animated wallpapers which run smoothly in the background. Many people are unaware, but GX, besides its own add-ons, also has a capability to integrate Google Chrome extensions, so you don't have to give up your favorite Chrome add-on tools. And lastly, you can also utilize a quick import tool, as GX is equipped with the capability to quickly import all of your settings from previous browsers, things like browser history, bookmarks, and cookies. So go ahead and download Opera GX using the link in the description, and let me know down in the comments below if you're using this amazing browser. Big thanks to Opera GX for sponsoring this video. We will begin by completely overhauling movement and in-game motion data to bring it more in line with Elden Ring's character control, utilizing well-known True Directional Movement mod. This mod introduces target lock into the game, with support for multiple target points with an animated target lock reticle widget. It also adds an immersive head tracking for the player character that is completely camera controlled, a fully fledged directional movement identical to Elden Ring. The mod also got recently updated to add behavioral leaning with its intensity completely controlled by the player, and also includes directional movement changes for swimming in all directions, including up and down hotkeyed movements. Next to that, the mod introduces a bunch of additional small improvements, such as mounted directional movement and vastly improved mounted archery. Everything has been modified through Skyrim Script Extender and is extremely modular and flexible. In order to complement TDM even further, we will utilize SkySA mod. SkySA is a modern third-person animation framework which aims to establish attack commitment and connects motion data with character movement. This mod evolved into a framework that animators use as a base into which behavioral packs are being created, enabling custom-made animations to shine, introducing modern attack patterns and combos. Speaking of combos, SkySA introduces a combo system in which light attacks can be chained multiple times, only to be finalized with a power attack, introducing tactical gameplay, attack commitment, proper spacing, and action input. The complexity of combat in Elden Ring and Souls games is mostly rooted in proper positioning, dodging mechanics, stamina management, and well-timed action input. In order to replicate that into Skyrim, we need to add dodging system and iframe mechanics, completely overhaul the way stamina works, and make few additional movement tweaks. We'll start off with Arena Movement Modern Combat Overhaul, a slight in-combat pacing change that slows down and tweaks all combat participants' movement speed, intensifying combat by putting focus on stamina management and dodging. Next, we'll completely overhaul stamina system by introducing Dark Souls Stamina Regen, a small tweak that replicates Elden Ring's regen rate to avoid sitting duck scenarios in the original game. The mod will also tweak weapon speeds and introduce stamina costs for all attacks, encouraging proper resource management. Afterwards, we'll be adding TK dodge as an evasion mechanic, as it enables players to avoid incoming attacks, iframing them utilizing iframe generator mod. I also like adding smooth TK dodge attack, allowing players to swing their weapons mid-dodge. Alternatively, you can also utilize DMCO as a dodging mod, or work in progress behavioral evasion. Now before we continue further, just a quick reminder for everyone that finds content produced on this channel worthwhile to consider clicking that subscribe button down below. It's free, helps us creators out, and you get reminded about channel updates. As far as further changes to combat to replicate Elden Ring systems, we have to change the way blocking works from the ground up. Additionally, also adding parrying mechanics that reward player for well-timed action input, introducing counter mechanics, as well as few additional tweaks. First, we will add Hellblade, a behavioral 0.2 second time block that re-implements unused recoil animation to all humanoids and creatures. The mod works as follows: as long as you raise your defensive stance and block an incoming attack in the first 0.2 seconds, the attacker will enter a behavioral recoil state and become open for follow-up counterattacks. Next, we will introduce a fully fledged counter mechanic, mimicking Elden Ring's counter system. We will accomplish this with Zxlice Parry, enabling the player to bash an incoming attack, forcing attackers into a staggered state, opening for real-time counterattack. Hellblade and Zxlice Parry work flawlessly together and heavily enrich gameplay experience by rewarding properly timed blocks and parries. In order to put additional pressure to stamina resource, we will add Shield of Stamina, a tiny SKSC plugin that forces stamina depletion every time the player blocks an attack, further encouraging proper resource management. And lastly, we will add Dual Wield Parry Reimplementation, a self-explanatory mod that enables players to block, parry and counter while wielding two weapons, with the proper hotkey selection, mimicking Elden Ring's dual wield system. Our Elden Ring Combat Overhaul is missing few additional tweaks and changes to make combat more satisfying and rewarding, and aren't necessarily grouped into a single category, thus you can consider following mods optional, however heavily influence the combat experience for the better, to the point that I would still recommend using them. First, and one of my favorites, Elder Soul sweeping attacks. This mod unlocks the base game limitation and allows for 180-degree frontal cone sweeping hits, just as is the case in Elden Ring. This small tweak makes sense as the combat against groups becomes more challenging from previous editions. In order to make combat more satisfying and impactful, we will add hitstop and flinching combo. These two mods will introduce a minor camera shake and flinching to actors receiving hits and play on top of the existing animations using on-hit framework. As far as the in-game AI, the two mods that will increase the creature and humanoid aggressiveness will be Wildcat and Ultimate Combat. These two mods add new attacks for various of creatures around Skyrim, makes the AI more aggressive and are tweaked in a way to try and surround the player while being relentless with attacks, not waiting for their turn to engage. And lastly, to mimic Elden Ring's potion consumption, we will add Zxlice Ultimate Potion Animation, a mechanism-changing SkySA plugin that forces players and all actors to use a realistic potion animations almost identical to all Souls games. And with that, the combat setup is complete, however, few things are worth mentioning. Please keep in mind that this overhaul does not attempt to replicate Elden Ring difficulty, as we are talking about two completely different games, and Skyrim is primarily made to be played for fun rather than anything else. This collection of mods just enhances the experience while using Elden Ring as inspiration, and encourages good positioning, proper action input, well-timed blocks, parries and dodges, as well as attack commitment and combos, making combat more satisfying, but most notably, more fun. I would like to invite everyone to my Discord server. We have a massive community of modders present, as well as screenshot competitions with its entries on the screen, so if you feel like becoming a part of a growing modding community, consider joining up. Other than that, thank you so much for watching this video. Let me know down in the comments below what you liked and disliked about this video, and as usual, I will pretty much respond to almost every comment down below. If you want to see a guided video on how to get these to set up, I will consider making one if this video reaches 5,000 likes. I do apologize for this video taking so long to make, and for the lack of uploads in the past 2 months, as real life has presented me with a fair amount of obstacles in that period. Again, thank you so much for your support and feedback. Consider dropping a like if you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one.